With experience increasing heirloom gear and LFG dungeon grinds, a lot of interesting lore seems to be forgotten. We count 10 highly interesting places in World of Warcraft that you should definitely check out. Number 10. Iron Tree Woods, located in Felwood, Kalimdor. In the north of Felwood you will find 3 ancients, seemingly made of stone. It was once a peaceful forest glade before the Burning Legion has corrupted it. Hasted, Stoma and Vartrus were once either ancients of law or war, great living trees who aided the Night Elves, but have been petrified and remain permanently entombed within the Iron Tree Woods. Number 9. Bough Shadow, located in Ashenvale, Kalimdor. Bough Shadow holds one of the portals leading to the Emerald Dream, but unlike the other portals I have found on my trip, this one is protected by Dragonkin as also the Guardian's Phantom and Dreamstalker. On WoW Wiki I read that one of the 4 corrupted green dragons of Nightmare randomly spawns here on occasion. Unfortunately they have all been corrupted by a dark power within the Emerald Dream, now intending to spread madness and terror throughout the Mortal Kingdoms. Even though I have doubts about the green dragons of Nightmare still spawning at the portals, I look forward as to whether Blizzard does or doesn't decide to make the Emerald Dream an actual expansion, and which role Bough Shadow and the other portals will play. Number 8. Halcyon Egress, located in Deepholm. This unsuspicious looking construction of stones is the location where the Earth Mother and her Stone Lords gather her people to attack the Twilight Hammer clan after you complete the quest Rallying the Earthen Ring, which I believe is a pre-climax of the rather long questline. However, this event is unfamiliar to many players who decide to rush through the levels and are not willing to engage into longer quest lines, and even I have not been staying in Deepholm long enough to find out about this back then in Cataclysm. Number 7. Ruins of Eldarath, located in Stouthelm Mountains, Kalimdor. The ruins of Eldarath are newly discovered ruins of a highborn city. On the surface of the shimmering lake you will find a fairy dragon named Neltasar, a rare mob that reacts friendly towards Alliance players only. However, the most interesting thing about these ruins are the ghosts of the highborn that still haunt this place, and when you step closer to some of the named elf ghosts you can even listen to their conversations. Sadly, in most cases only archaeologists find out about this place while grinding their profession and just scoop through the area to get to the next ruins as quick as possible. Number 6. Master's Glaive, located in Dogshore, Kalimdor. If you enter the area through Ashenvale, the first thing you'll notice is a giant octopus-looking monument near a lake with a massive glaive piercing its head. It is speculated that this is the skull of an old god or one of his minions, and that the glaive belongs to the Titan who has slain him. The Night Elves consider this a sacred area since they believe that only a Titan could wield such a giant glaive. However, the Twilight Hammer clan has now taken control over the area because they believe that the statue is some sort of divine corpse, perhaps the remains of an old god. There even is a quest named Master's Glaive that asks you to investigate the monument, but I believe that the information given from that quest are also fairly limited. Number 5. Hearthglen, located in the Western Plaguelands, Eastern Kingdom. Being under control of Tirion Fordring's command before the Third War, leadership temporarily switched to the Paladin Bartholus because Tirion was exiled for treason as he gave aid to the Orc Etric. Hearthglen was targeted by the Scourge in the beginning of the Third War, though before the undead army arrived, the plague of undeath found its way beyond the walls of Hearthglen in form of grain shipment from Andorhal. Just before the undead launched their attack, the defenders had baked and eaten the grain, infecting them all with the plague. Arthas Menethil tracked the shipment of grain to Hearthglen, where he, along with soldiers of Lordain's army, managed to slay those who were infected before it could spread across the entire town. The undead army laid siege to the fortress but were held off thanks to the help of Arthas and his armies, lasting just long enough for the arrival of Uther and his knights. It is ironic that the effort of the future Lich King were what saved Hearthglen from the undead. However, the town was later appropriated by the Scarlet Crusade, who used it as a major base of operation before the Argent Crusade has taken it over in the Cataclysm, now using it as a sort of training ground for new recruits. Tirion found his way back to Hearthglen after his victory over the Lich King and can be found within the fortress of Mardenhold up to this day. It is sad that a lot of players never found out about the existence of Hearthglen due to increased experience rates in form of heirloom gear, causing the quest of Andorhal to be enough to outlevel the zone and never come back. Number 4. Leyara's Sorrow, located in Mount Hyjal, Kalimdor. This one is really interesting because I've quested a lot in Mount Hyjal during Cataclysm, but somehow this story went completely over my head. Leyara's Sore are ruins tucked into the corner of the Inferno or the Growth depending on the phase. Leyara is the widow of Vestan Staghelm, the late son of Fandral Staghelm, and this is where she buried their daughter Istaria. During the Firelands invasion, Leyara, loyal to Fandral and his Druids of the Flame, faces off against Hamur Rune Totem within these ruins. Her magic brings the Archdruid to the brink of death. It is only later when the players are shown that this is the final resting place of her daughter and also where Fandral Staghelm took advantage of her grief to bring her under his wing. Number 3. Serpent's Heart, located in the Jade Forest, Pandaria. This is where the first big conflict between the Alliance and the Horde took place on Pandaren ground. A long questline would lead you to support building a Jade Serpent for the actual Celestial Spirit to find a resting place. However, both Alliance and Horde have found allies on Pandaria and battle each other on the ground of the Serpent's Heart. During the battle, the monument broke and almost crushed the leaders of the opposing troops underneath, their conflict leading to the creation of a giant Shah. Number 2. Warden's Cage, located in Shadowmoon Valley, Outland. A prison-like tunnel complex that reminds a lot of a torture chamber. If you head straight through it, you will find a room filled with torture tools and bones. The really interesting part is revealed when you move right and dive into the waters through an underwater tunnel, finding Akama, who has imprisoned Maya Shadowsong, the night of protesting strongly, vowing death to the betrayer. There is a quest called the Warden's Cage in favor of the Eldar, causing reputation with scribes to decrease. And number 1. Wrathgate, located in Dragonblight, Northrend. I think we all knew that this was gonna be it. The Wrathgate cinematic holds its legacy as a number 1, the favorite cinematic of the WoW community. The fall of the heroes Bolvar Hrothgar and the younger Saurfang will always be remembered, making this one of the most epic places in World of Warcraft history. This was Lorecraft Unlimited today with the top 10 of interesting places in World of Warcraft that you should definitely check out. That's it for this countdown. If you have any suggestions as to which top 10 you would like to see next, leave a comment below. If you enjoy the content, feel free to subscribe and I hope to see you next time.